Okay, so in this lesson, we're going to first of all now concentrate just on cleaning up. I'm also promising that this won't be too long. Now, also, let's select the new layer down here. We're just going to create a new layer, and I'm just going to rename this to Cleanup. And as you guys can see, I'm also slowly now working in a process here in my PSD file with creating new layers, creating a group, keeping everything nicely and sorted and in little steps. Firstly, so you can find your way easily around my PSD file, and so you guys also don't work very distracting and very unorganized in your PSD file. It helped me quite a lot as well. If you fall back on this image in maybe a year or two, you know exactly how you got to your effect. Okay, Command G again, create a new group. And I'm just going to write here cleanup as well. Great. Let's select the cleanup group, basically the layer, and we're also now going to work just with our healing brush tool. So press J for the healing brush. As well, I'm going to switch my foreground color back to black and white. Simply select this little icon over here, and there you can also switch your foreground colors. Again, I'm going to zoom a little bit closer now, and first of all, just want to clean up his skin a little bit here and his face. I'm going to work with J, healing brush tool, make this a little bit smaller. And as well, now I need to work on all layers. At the moment, yes, it is set into all layers, as you guys can see here from the top. Normally it's set to current layers, so then it won't do anything. You need to switch it to all layers. Okay, very simple to also work with the healing brush tool. It's pretty much the same as the clone stamp tool. Just with the healing brush tool, it just copies texture. Clone stamp tool copies texture and tones and luminosity. So again, healing brush is easier if you just want to copy texture in a way and clean up. If you want to copy a certain area, the clone stamp tool. Simply working with it is you hold Alt. So you will see this little target here. So you select this area and then go over to your source point, or basically your source point here and your destination, and you're just cleaning it up. So again, Alt, and I'm slowly just cleaning up a little bit this guy's face. Now I don't want to structure and create a complete flawless skin. I actually want to let his structure also, basically meaning his whole expressions and everything in the shot. I don't want to take that out. I just want to clean up small pimples and areas that don't look too good, and we could have actually looked a little bit better. Okay, so again, just cleaning up this a little bit, his beard, a few marks here, so it just looks a little bit nicer. Okay, also this just a bit. Sometimes I wouldn't do this all the time. On some people I would actually leave that if you have prominent spots that people know you for, so I would leave these spots actually. Then as well, this area over here, hold Alt again, cleaning this up a little bit. Okay, not trying to work too much on this, and as you guys can see, I'm working also really quickly with this with the same brush size. Take a bit more time when you do this. Okay, a little bit more, and just taking all these little tones here out of the skin a little bit. A little bit more, also down here. Yeah, then I'm just going to clean up his beard a little bit, something like that. Great. And I'm pretty happy so far with this. Let's go over here. I'm going to clean up this area actually a little bit, just from the cap. And exactly this happened now, the smudging thing that I call it. So basically is when you hold Alt and sample the area over there and go over certain pixels here, it will just create this really smudgy area. So again, press Command Z or go to the history here at the top, go step back. I'm going to press S now for the clone stamp tool. Also, first of all, switch this to all layers, not current layer. Make my brush a little bit bigger. And hold Alt this time, select actually the area very close by, and this will obviously copy exactly the same area now. So I can go over this, and you'll see that I won't get that smudging effect. Okay, and my brush is also feathered quite a lot, so I'm going to press Ctrl Alt, and actually change the hardness of this to 90%, somewhere around there. Okay, and my brush size, again changing that via my board here. Hold Alt, and also here Alt. Yeah, and just clean this up a little bit further. Okay, so that looks nice. I'm going to go all the way to the top. We can clean up these areas here, and this is also just working now really in the fine areas. Now again, over here I see a few dust marks. I'm going to press J for healing brush tool, make my brush a little bit bigger so I can work quicker. Hold Alt, just go over this, clean that, clean this, clean this. And now there's also another trick to clean up dust marks a little bit easier. I'm going to go to adjustments and going to create a curves levels adjustment layer here and just take my dark parts all the way down. So I'm darkening the image quite a lot. And this is just like a little help layer. I'm actually going to rename this actually to help layer, so you guys don't forget about this, but I'm going to blend it off once I'm done with it. So this is darkening the complete image, as you guys can see, really a lot, and we have tons of dust marks in here. So again, J for healing brush tool, sample the area. Okay, I'm working on the adjustment layer. You need to select the cleanup layer. J for healing brush, and literally just clean up that. Yeah, and there's also another thing to that now. We're working on all layers. So obviously the healing brush tool is also affecting now this layer. So you need to turn it off, select clean layer, and this is obviously a bit of a process. So again, but it just shows you where are all the dust marks. So again, here's one. I can turn this off, and you guys kind of get the idea now of this. So I'm just going to do the rough ones. I'm not going to work through the whole complete image now. Again, over here, we're going to brighten these areas a bit more. Let's turn the help layer on again. Over here on the clouds, we have a few. So I'm going to actually go over here. J for healing brush tool. Copy again this area. A little bit more. Over here is another spot. Over there is another spot. So it would be actually wise to take the camera in for a proper cleanup. Okay, so this is just roughly now. I just did a few more. Can also not see there are a few over here still, like a huge one. I'm going to turn off the help layer, J for healing brush, select this area and this area. Okay, great. That's all also for just the cleanup. So going out, and that's also all that I'm going to do just for the cleanup lesson here. So again, before and after, before and after. And normally I do spend actually like just 10 to 15 minutes go and look and clean up all the little details, because if you clean up more and more these details, they would just make for a better image. Okay, yeah, so that's also all for this lesson. We're going to see you now in the next lesson. We're going to start with the next process.